Hello, Kekistan. Today I'm getting released from Facebook jail for the 14th time, and most people are probably wondering why do you keep coming back? And it's like, well, because Facebook has so much content, and recently, due to my new 500 or so friends, there's a lot of meme content, and we're gonna burn this thing to the ground from the inside.
Tell me about Bane! Why does he wear the mask?
Recently, Facebook has banned the Declaration of Independence under hate speech, and uh, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Word about the map is bound to get out. Ian's gonna try to steal it.
90 seconds.
The only way to protect the Declaration is to steal it.
What?
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Now Facebook apologizing to a Texas newspaper for part of the Declaration of Independence being labeled as hate speech. Community newspaper called the Liberty County Vindicator had been posting the whole declaration in just small daily chunks on its Facebook page for 8 days. This was in the run-up to the 4th of July. But the 9th excerpt was not posted on Monday. The paper getting an automated notice from Facebook saying that the post, quote, goes against our standards on hate speech.
My prediction is by the end of the 2020 election cycle, like at the pinnacle of it, which will probably be like early October of 2020, you're going to see Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, not that they matter so much, they're going to stab themselves to death trying to weed out any people who support Donald Trump whatsoever. And they're going to kill themselves. It's going to be fucking real. And it's already starting.
Wow, YouTube done fucked up big time. When are they not fucking up, Edgy? He has a point, you know. This time it's hilarious. You see, because of YouTube's push to sanitize the site, they actively lost $70 billion. They what? I can barely comprehend that amount of money. Think of all the waifu pillows you could buy with that, bruh. Fuck you. Either that or he'd spend it all on the fan service and the titty games. And you'd spend it all on video games, booze, and guns, and you know it. Oh yeah, he would do that. Probably buy all that shit. And you would spend it all on weed and pizza. No, I wouldn't. You would. Alright, we're getting off on a tangent here, guys. Alright, so why did they lose that massive amount of money? Well, the article claims it's because of banning conspiracy videos, but I think it's a little more than just that. YouTube has been actively trying to push more mainstream media stuff like Bill Maher, Stephen Colbert, that fucking Jimmy Fallon show that, or SNL, all that kind of shit. All these corporate channels, and all these safe and corporate and, you know, advertiser-friendly channels. What they don't understand is that's the opposite of why people like YouTube and why it got as big as it did. I mean, I thought the whole point of YouTube was that it was content created by a bunch of people on the internet with just too much free time.
Facebook algorithm flags and removes the Declaration of Independence text as hate speech. This is going to be really good when they start trying to decide what's hate speech and what isn't. Well, of course, they're doing that now. They're starting to decide. But when it really kicks in, I think it's going to be a disaster. They already said Facebook and Twitter and Apple are all trying to figure out how to weed out fake news during this upcoming election cycle. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how you do that necessarily, because who deems what's fake and what isn't?
So one alternative to Facebook that's out there is Minds.com, and Minds.com has a decent user interface. It's gotten better. Facebook is by far the best. I mean, let's just be fucking honest with ourselves. Nothing's better than Facebook, and there's several reasons why. Facebook has been around the longest. MySpace had a good go for 4 years. Facebook's been around for guess it'd be about 15 years now. Minds will pay you in bullshit cryptocurrency to shit post. So the more popular you are, the more crypto that you get. I don't think it's worth a fuck. Maybe if the site becomes, wildly popular.
We've talked a lot on this show. We're going to talk a lot more about the growth of the power of big tech companies and how they are now a far bigger threat to your civil liberties than the federal government ever was. Now, the head of a social media network says that Google is censoring his company. How? Bill Ottman is the co-creator of Mind.com, and he joins us in the studio tonight. Bill, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Google is trying to censor your company. How?
So we got banned from their advertising platform, probably caught up in their out-of-control algorithms, which basically blanket ban companies based on certain keywords with no real rationality.
So just for perspective, I'm not overstating it when I say if you're banned from Google's ad platform, I mean, that can be death for a company.
It can. It's actually killed tons of companies and content creators on YouTube who are demonetized. It's a pretty serious situation.
So they have the power to just snuff out a young company. Why did they do this to you, do you think? Did you do something wrong?
Probably some keyword. They got caught up in their algorithms, but it's actually a symptom of a bigger problem of censorship, algorithm manipulation happening on all of the major social networks. And so we're actually building our own ad network to battle this, and it's going to be completely transparent on the blockchain so that everyone can see what's happening with our system, where it's completely open source, anyone can inspect it, peer review it. So this is how things have to be. They can't be proprietary.
They can't. And one thing that I think the news-consuming public doesn't understand is that almost all news you read online is controlled by Google and Facebook because they control, 90% of the ads. So they're in charge. They own all the news sources, in effect.
And when you go to people's websites who host Google Ads, Google's actually spying on you through those websites. So by putting Google Ads on your website, you're actually becoming an agent of Google. So that's why we need transparent, more freedom-based ad platforms to emerge which don't spy on people by default.
So you're challenging one of the most complete monopolies in American life. Why would they let you do that? Why would
it's not about them letting us do that. It's, I mean, decentralization, open source, blockchain, transparent social networks are emerging, and there's really nothing they can do about it. Hopefully they will transform. That's what you can hope.
Huh. So you think that they have this power, the federal government has done nothing about it, they have a monopoly over basically over all digital information, and the federal government refuses to rein it in for whatever reason. You think you can provide an alternative to that? You can free up the system from their control?
Yeah, I mean, it's happening. Free, open source, decentralized networks are rising
What's it going to be called?
I mean, it's going to be a network of networks. The next big network probably is not going to be a centralized site. It's going to be a multitude of networks interoperating so that it actually can't get censored.
So you think that this will radically disempower Google and Facebook?
I think that this movement will, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Hire bodyguards, Bill. That's what. Just kidding. But Godspeed, and we'll definitely be rooting for you. That would be transformative, I think, in ways that people don't even fully understand. But we're definitely on your side. Thanks.
Thanks, Tucker.
So the bullshit cryptocurrency, which is known as the Minds token, that's a really positive psychological reward that you get, even though currently it's not worth a fuck. So that's really cool, and it's just less interconnected or less centrally controlled, and that's something that's really dangerous that Facebook has been doing for probably since maybe 2010, 2012. People are using their Facebook and Google logins to log into other websites, and that's really dangerous because if you get banned, like a hard ban from Facebook, not a 30-day vacation or a 3-day ban or anything, if you get a hard ban from one of these big companies, they might be able to fuck you out of accessing all these other websites, and people don't think about that. So I try to actively avoid using my Facebook ID to log into other websites or third-party sites. And it's just another way that they fucking track everything that you do.
No! They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
Have we started the fire?
Yes. The fire rises. time for fear. That comes later.